Good morning, students. Let us start with the first chapter of civics, the Union Legislature. Why do we study civics? As citizens of India, it is important for us to know the working of our government, its organs like executive, legislature, and judiciary. It also helps us to understand the rights and responsibilities as the citizens of our country. In this lesson, we are going to learn about the Parliament, the Lok Sabha, the Rajya Sabha, powers of the Rajya Sabha, powers and functions of the Parliament. Introduction of the lesson. The Union Legislature comprises the President and the two houses of Parliament. The House of the People, that is Lok Sabha, and the Council of States, that is Rajya Sabha. In a democracy, people are their own masters. Ours is a representative democracy where people exercise their sovereign power through their elected representatives. The Parliament is the body of people's representatives who have supreme power of governance in a democratic country. The Government of India works through its three main organs. They are the legislature, the executive, the judiciary. The legislature makes laws, the executive enforces laws, and the judiciary interprets the laws and safeguards the constitution. Legislatures are the lawmaking bodies. At the center, the lawmaking body is called the Parliament, and in states, the Vidhan Sabha or Legislative Assembly. Some states have a bicameral legislature consisting of the Vidhan Sabha and the Vidhan Parishad. Bicameral means, bi means two and cameral means chamber or room, which means a lawmaking body having two houses. It is almost impossible for the central government to look after the administration of country as big as India. So, there is a clear division of responsibilities between central and state governments as per the three lists provided by the Constitution. The first one is the Union List. Only the Union Legislature has the power to make laws on this list. For example, foreign affairs, defense, and finance. All the matters of national importance come under this category. And the second one is the state list. Matters that are important for a state, such as state administration, public health, law and order, etc., are taken care of by the state legislature. And the third one is the concurrent list. This includes the matters which are important for both the center and state. For example, education, forests, trade unions, adulteration, etc. Adulteration means the action of making something poor in quality by the addition of another substandard thing. Both of these can make laws on the subjects in this list, but in case of conflict, the central law shall prevail. Now let us see the Union Legislature. It consists of two parts, that is Lok Sabha, lower house or the House of the People, and the second one is Rajya Sabha, that is the upper house or the Council of States. Now we'll learn about the Parliament. The Parliament consists of the President and the two houses of the Parliament, the Lok Sabha and the Rajya Sabha. They are also known as the lower house and the upper house of the Parliament respectively. Because we have two houses, this system is referred to as a bicameral legislature. Now let us learn about the Lok Sabha. The Lok Sabha is the highest lawmaking body in our country. It frames laws which are made by the elected representatives of the people known as members of parliament. The parliament is situated in New Delhi. The Lok Sabha is known as the House of the People because its members are elected directly by the people for a term of 5 years. It is called the lower house, although it is more powerful than the Rajya Sabha. The Lok Sabha has 545 members, out of which 543 members are elected and 2 members are nominated by the President from Anglo-Indian community. The Lok Sabha may be dissolved before the expiry of its term if no party is able to command majority. Its tenure may be extended during an emergency. The elections to the Lok Sabha. The members of this house are elected directly by the citizens. The whole country is divided into several territorial constituencies. Candidates are elected through a secret ballot. Every adult citizen of the age 18 years and above has a right to vote. No distinction is made on grounds of religion, color, caste, creed, etc. The elections are organized by the Election Commission of India. A constituency is an area comprising a certain number of people who are represented by a member to the Lok Sabha or to the State Assembly. Let us see who can contest an election. A person contesting election to the Lok Sabha must be a citizen of India and be at least 25 years of age. Elections are generally contested by candidates representing various political parties. Some such parties are Indian National Congress, Bharatiya Janata Party, Communist Party of India, Nationalist Congress Party, Bahujan Samaj Party, etc. Some candidates contest elections on their own. They are known as independents. Now let us see what are the qualifications for membership to the Lok Sabha. He must be a citizen of India. He should not be less than 25 years of age. He should be mentally sound. He should not be an insolvent, that is, he should not be in debt and should have the ability to meet his financial commitments. He should not hold an office or profit under the government. He should not be a proclaimed offender. He should have his name in the electoral rolls in some part of the country. He should be in good mental health and should not be in employment of the government. He should not be a member of some other legislature at the same time. With this, we wind up the video today, and the rest we will learn in the next video. Thank you.